Hello everyone, welcome to Quant Masters. I'm Harshita Alveri. Today we have Sara with us, who is from Bangalore, Karnataka, and she got placed in Wipro recently. So she's here to share her experience with us. Let's talk to her and get to know about the entire interview process in detail. Hi Sara,
Hello, ma'am.
how are you?
Yes, ma'am, I'm good. How about you?
I'm good, Sara. And firstly, I would like to congratulate you for getting placed in Wipro, Sara. That's really amazing, and I'm really happy for you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's all because
And
of Quant Masters. It's Quant Masters' efforts which have, made me get placed in Wipro.
nice to know, Sarah. We are really happy that we could actually help you and you are also praised. That's a very proud thing for us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so let's talk about the interview process. But before that, could you introduce yourself, Sarah?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Syeda Sara. I'm pursuing my seventh semester of computer science engineering at Wimra Institute of Technology. I belong to computer science and engineering branch.
Okay, so what's the job role in the package that's offered for you in Wipro, Sarah?
Yes, ma'am. So the role offered is project engineer and the salary package is 3.5.
Oh, that's really nice. So, when did you get to know that you are actually placed in Wipro, Sarah? Recently?
Yes, yes, ma'am. So this is basically a phase two hiring Wipro.
Okay.
So yeah, the phase one hiring I did apply, but because of some problem with my Superset account, unfortunately I could not. So this was phase two hiring with 4 years of batches. It was 2019, 20, 21, and 22 batch.
Okay.
So I had to compete with 4 years batch.
Mhm.
So on February 19th, I got a mail for the assessment. So I had to
Okay.
take up the assessment.
So, this was an off campus interview, right?
Yes, ma'am. This was off
Off
campus
campus. Yeah,
on
please continue.
yeah, this was off campus on Superset platform.
Mm-hmm.
So on February 19th, I had the assessment. I took up the assessment. So there were five sections. The first one was quant section, which was for 16. So there were 16 questions, and logical round, 14 questions, and
Okay.
there was English for 22 questions, coding, two questions, and essay was one question.
Okay,
So
okay,
it was
fine.
for
So let's
quant.
talk about every section. Yeah.
Yes. So quant section was simple, ma'am. So there were questions on percentage, on profit and loss, on averages,
Mm-hmm.
and there were three questions on ages,
Okay.
like a father's age, the basic questions. And on both science streams, there were three questions.
Okay.
So aptitude was fine. I could complete it like in time.
What time was given for this section, Sarah?
Logical, yes, ma'am. 16 questions, right? So they were for 16 minutes.
Okay, so you had 1 minute for every question.
Yes, 1 minute for each question.
Okay, so what was the level of difficulty? The quant section, Sarah?
No, ma'am. Quant section was simple. The questions were straightforward.
Okay, fine, fine.
So,
Yeah,
like,
tell us about
whatever
it.
questions I underwent during the training, like in Quant Masters, so I felt those questions were, quite enough to crack the quants round.
Okay, fine,
Uh,
fine. Yeah, please continue with the logical section.
yeah, so logical section was a little bit hard. There were questions more on patterns and also on cryptanalysis.
Okay.
So cryptanalysis and the patterns, we had to focus more and identify the patterns, and even more questions on cryptanalysis, as I said, like OA, the next letter we had to predict. So the differences in between the two letters. So that was a little
Mhm.
bit tricky. So I spent more time on logical questions.
Okay, so like you had how many minutes given for that section?
Uh, log- Logical, there were 14 questions. Yeah, 14 minutes. Each
So
question
how
at
was it, Sarah? Like you had for every section separate time or overall time was given and you could use it accordingly?
No,
How was
ma'am.
it?
For each section, like if there's 16 questions, 16 minutes. The
It
time
was
was
separate. So
pyramid.
after 16 minutes, you will have to go to the next section.
Yes, ma'am. After 16 minutes, I have to
Oh.
go to the next question. I mean,
And
next
you were
section.
able to navigate between the questions, or it was like you have to answer and then go to the next one?
No, ma'am. We were not allowed to navigate. We had to
Oh,
answer the question and then go.
okay.
Yeah, we did not have any permission to navigate.
Okay,
So
okay, fine.
actually, that was a little bit, tricky. because so for some questions like we were not able to visit back also the previous
Yeah,
question. So once answered, it's done. So time management is a key here.
it's done.
So the next was English round. So
Mhm.
in English there were 20 questions. They were like comprehension and sentence correction. So English round was fairly simple. Like you do not even have to give a thought about it. Like it
Okay.
was quite simple. Like sentence correction, error correction, then to find the to fill in the missing words in the sentences.
Mm-hmm.
So that was simple. Then in coding there were two questions. Uh, the coding questions also were simple, but one there were two questions, so one I could easily answer. The other one, like I just cleared 8 test cases. 2 test cases I
Oh.
could not clear because I didn't
What
have
time was given for those two questions, Sara?
2 questions for 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, okay, fine, fine.
Yeah,
So there was an essay question also, right? Essay writing.
yes, ma'am. And in
What question was
coding,
given for
like
you?
we didn't have like separate. Like for both the questions, all after time was 30 minutes.
Okay, so you can use the time accordingly.
Yeah, you can use the time accordingly.
Yeah, and what question was given for the essay, Sara?
Yes, so essay was one question. It was like on importance of sports. Like so nowadays, if the what the question statement was, like nowadays many of the parents they are offended by sports. Like most of the children they spend more time on sports. So I had to write an essay on how important is sports. Okay, so what are my views on it? Am I going to support the statement or am I against the statement?
Okay, okay, fine. So that was the question. And what time was given and how many words you had to write the essay?
Well, time given was for 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yes,
And you had to write the essay has to be how many words?
200 to 300 words.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Super.
Yes,
So that was about the first round online assessment.
yes, ma'am.
And then when did you get to know that you are shortlisted for the next round, Sarah?
Yes, ma'am. So February 26th, I got a mail that I'm
Mhm.
selected for the Wipro round. And then, yes, and then on March 22nd, I got a mail that I have an interview with Wipro.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so my interview in Wipro was, I can say it was quite hectic because
Okay.
I had actually seen many of the interview experiences on Quant Masters, and the questions were like fairly simple, and I can say that the time limit was not much. So for me, it went on like nearly 40 minutes the interview.
Okay.
So they were like, I can say it was a rapid fire round.
Mhm.
So I'll just tell you the questions. So the first round was to tell me about myself. So I had to introduce. And then the second question was, what do you know about DBMS? Oh. Then third question was, tell me about data analytics because I was actually doing a course on data analytics from Google.
Mhm.
So I had to say more about data analytics. And then ma'am asked me like if on which recent technology am I working on. So tell me some insights about the recent technology. So like I was preparing on machine learning and cloud and data analytics. So I just told about those. Then the fourth question was why should we hire you?
Okay.
So I answered, and then the fifth question was how do you learn faster?
Okay.
Okay, so like how do you adapt yourself to learn faster, and what is your key and method to learn faster?
Hmm.
So I told them,
You were able to answer?
yes,
Super, super.
like how I would learn faster is to underline the key terms in an answer. And second is also the mind mapping technique. With the help of mind mapping, you can actually learn faster. Things become easy. Then sixth question
Correct.
was if someone in a company wants to favor you, secretly favor you. So if someone is coming and telling you that I'm going to give you promotion secretly, so how would you react to it? Like, would you accept it or would you not accept it? So I said that I do not accept it because I do not want any favorism or promotion. So whatever it is, I want to get it with my own ability.
Correct.
So question. Then the seventh question was, according to you, what are the best qualities in a leader?
Okay.
So
So these are all like all HR questions, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So this was an only technical round or HR plus
It was
technical?
tech plus HR.
Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, please
Yeah,
continue.
like technical starting, ma'am asked about the DBMS and about
Mhm.
data analytics, about linked lists and all that. So after first five questions were on technical purely. Then later
Okay.
on, all these HR questions followed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then she asked me, what are the best qualities in a leader, and have you done any mistakes in your life? If yes,
Mhm.
how will you correct it? So this question was a little tricky for me to say. So this was the only question I can say that I was a little bit, hesitant. I didn't know what exactly to say for this question. Then ma'am asked me, what are your hobbies? And have you taken part? Have you taken a part in any co-curricular activities? If yes, what part? What was your role in that? So these were the questions followed. And one thing was actually the time limit given to me for this interview was between 3 to 5 p.m. on
Okay.
Superset platform. So
Mhm.
I literally waited like for 2 hours, 3 to 4, yeah, 2 hours. Like they told me to log in 10 minutes before. So 3:10 I logged in and it was almost 5:30. I had lost hope that like will I even get a call. Then around 5:40, like I got a call on the Superset
Okay.
platform. So
Fine,
this
fine.
was my,
So this was the last round.
yes, this was the last round. And on March 31st, I got the offer letter from Wipro.
March 31st is today.
Today, yes, today.
Today you got the
Offer
results.
letter, yes,
Offer letter also.
direct offer letter.
Super, super. Nice to know, Sarah. That's really nice.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah. Would you like to give any tips or suggestions to your friends and juniors, Sarah, which might help them also get placed in Wipro?
Yes, ma'am. One suggestion I would like to give is start your preparation early. See, like along with your engineering syllabus, you have to devote your time for the placements. See, I agree that curriculum is very hectic. You have assignments, you have internals, but at the same time, placements are also very important. In your curriculum, because now when you're getting the opportunity, why do you want to miss it? Utilize the opportunity and start preparing for placements. I suggest every day you have to practice aptitude quants, and more than apti and quants, coding. So I feel one must have the basic knowledge of coding and has to start solving. I can give you some tips like on HackerRank or code chef. I know these are quite difficult, but at the starting always the journey is difficult, but once you start in, I feel you will become better and perfect.
I hope these tips will help the students. And since you are a student of Quant Masters, would you like to tell how was your journey with Quant Masters, Sarah?
Yes, ma'am. My journey with Quant Masters was really fabulous. I really enjoyed Himanshu sir's teaching, Himanshu sir's classes, especially sir's motivation and guidance. Because of the college classes, I would get time to watch the videos in the evening. So, like more than listening to a lecture, first I would listen to sir's motivation. At the end, after each session, sir would give motivation talk. So some of his motivation, his success stories have really helped me embark like my future. So his motivation and guidance is wonderful. And even Shashank sir's teaching, especially coding, like sir literally teaches from the basics. Because I belong to computer science engineering at the starting, like even I was not that confident in coding. But once after joining Shashank sir's teaching, my coding really improved a lot, especially my basics were quite strong. And even Prajwal sir, who's a technical mentor, even he really helped me, like he guided me. For each and every interview, I would call him and ask suggestions, and sir would always be available to give his point of view, like his feedback.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thanks for all the kind words. We are really happy that we could help you. We are also placed in Wipro and also in HCL. So
Yes,
that's really nice thing. We are really happy about it.
and
And one last question, Sarah. Would you recommend Quantmasters to your friends and juniors?
yes, ma'am. Certainly, I would recommend, because Quant Masters, I can say, is the best place, because like every like people after coming into fifth sem, they'll be very curious. and they'll also be confused like which is the best place to join. But I can say that this is the best place. You have everything. You have mock assessments where you can assess your performance. There are even doubt clearing sessions also conducted. And more importantly, in aptitude and quants, you cannot solve with longer methods. You need shortcuts. So Himanshu sir is the best person to give you shortcuts. And his performance, and your performance can be increased, I can say. So his teaching is wonderful.
Thank you so much, Sara. And also, thanks for being here, sharing all the information with us, Sara. Students who are trying very hard to get placed in Wipro, your experience will definitely help them.
Yes, ma'am, surely. Thank you.
Congratulations once again, and all the very best for your future, Sara.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.